And so with that, let's get started with our first company. Let's go with Kevin from Fusar. Give him a big round of applause while we welcome him up to the stage. Where is he? Oh, yeah. Ryan, sorry, Ryan.
Thanks, Aaron. How's everyone doing tonight? All right, so quick show of hands. How many people here have ridden a bicycle, ridden a motorcycle, or gone skiing and snowboarding in the last year? Not bad. All right, let's get started. So at Fusar, we're creating wearable technologies to bring additional levels of safety to action sports. Sports generally not considered safe by traditional ball and stick metrics, stuff that me and my fellow enthusiasts are very, very passionate about. As a technologist and a mechanical engineer, I was really driven to build something that service the needs of people that don't typically have consumer-facing devices that bring certain levels of connectivity and protection. And one of the things we like to say is staying protected by keeping you connected. So I was actually rear-ended by a motorcycle after part of my morning commute. It was in late 2012, and after that accident, I decided that the products out there on the market really weren't suiting my needs. As someone who was active on a motorcycle, active on a snowboard, active on pretty much anything that moves, I needed something that was going to do a little more than the passive safety equipment that we were relying on. Wrist guards, knee guards, jackets, helmets. They do little to protect us other than stop impact forces. But when we've got devices like GoPro cameras and communication devices, they really attack the entertainment side of things, but they don't really focus on safety. And that's really where Fusar comes in. So what we're doing is we're integrating technologies into the products that we already wear. Like I said, helmets, for instance. Our company was founded to bring smart helmets to market, and a smart motorcycle helmet explicitly. From there, I wouldn't really call it a pivot, but we really analyzed the marketplace and said, what we're doing can scale to a number of different use cases. Skiing and snowboarding, for example, bicycle riding. I might be in love with the helmet I use, and if we're going to come to market with a helmet that requires you to get rid of the product that you're already loyal to, that causes a lot of, we'll call it friction. So what we did was make a universal bolt-on version of our product to enable people to attach it to their existing gear. We're also leveraging the little mobile computer that we all carry in our pockets today. So smartphone ubiquity is kind of a linchpin of our success, and as access to the network is becoming greater and greater as time goes on, we're going to be able to leverage that data connection and provide maximum utility to our users. And in addition, because we've now modularized the platform and you can attach it to any helmet you want, it really can apply to a number of sports. And what was previously a very small market comparatively is now a market that's 25 to 30 times greater now that we can appeal to athletes of different sports and activities. Now, why now? What's really evolved in this landscape to make now the right time for this? And if you look at helmets, for instance, they're little more than a hard exterior shell and a soft interior, polystyrene, styrofoam, and it does a really, really good job at protecting your life in the event of an accident. In a motorcycle collision, you're 67% more likely to survive if you're wearing a helmet. My helmet in my accident saved my life. My jacket saved my skin. Neither did anything to protect me before the accident or give additional layers of safety after the accident. So that was really what helped fundamentally shape what our goal was as we were bringing our products to market, developing them, and really honing in on what we were going to do and what our strategy was going to look like. So beyond that, today, the hardware that we have access to is small enough and powerful enough that you can do this without having a giant mobile computer bolted to the side of your helmet. You can get things that are aerodynamic, things that have really nice and elegant form factors that appeal to people at large. Motorcyclists are very concerned with looking good just as much as they are staying safe. So in getting to the market, motorcycles, there's 10 million active motorcyclists in the US. In Europe, you've got about 33 million active motorcyclists. There's over 400 million motorcycles in use all around the world. But we're only selling 4 to 5 million helmets in the US every year, and that was one of the limiting factors when we were building our business, when we were creating technology that really hadn't been seen before. Fully binocular, transparent, eyes-up display, crash detection algorithms that can alert your loved ones in the event of an accident, as well as 911. Think of it as OnStar for motorcyclists. These things were too good to really constrain just to the motorcycle market. So we said, well, if I ride a bicycle and I'm as passionate about that, why can't I have that technology also? And that's really what enabled us to scale the platform and then see where we could take it. And ultimately, we're working with a number of helmet companies that want to integrate this tech. But as we go to market with universal products, it enables us to scale to those other verticals much quicker. So the ecosystem of products that we're developing right now is shown right here on the screen, it really is essentially focused on the mobile app. The mobile app is the anchor for our ecosystem. We've got a handlebar control that enables users to interact with the hardware without taking their hands off the bar. That's really important. Keeping your hands on the bars, keeping a lot of attention on normal riding behavior is very important. It goes all the way through to the Mohawk, which is the brain of our smart helmet system. It turns any helmet into a smart helmet. And then this is the Guardian. This is our fully integrated smart helmet solution featuring the eyes-up display, all of the other things I've mentioned. This is what we're working with our partner OEMs, and that's really our business model. Develop, design, and sell our own safety-oriented products, but work with those established brands so that we don't have to necessarily build out the same logistics. We are giving them a turnkey solution, and they don't have to go and build up R&D divisions of their own businesses. So we're a 9-person startup right here in New Jersey. We've raised seed funding. I'm really excited about what we're doing. I encourage you to visit our website if you want to see a demo of what it all looks like, and feel free to come grab me, and I'll give you a little bit of a demo over here afterwards. Thank you very much. Q&A, okay. So 5 minutes of Q&A. Any questions? Yes, in the back. So we're working on a wrist strap version. Same hardware, we can leverage the same baseline engineering. We're coming to market with the handlebar solution first because of timing when it comes to market. It'll be right at the peak of the beginning of the motorcycle riding season for next year. But basically the same circuit board, the same hardware will work for the wrist strap, and that would be used for anything where you're not on 2 wheels. So skydiving, skiing and snowboarding, skateboarding, things like that. Yes?
How receptive is the OEMs been when you guys approach them?
So they approach us. So the question was, for those who didn't hear, how receptive are the OEMs when we approach them? And what we found was by bringing on some really great advisors, people who are legends in the motorsports industry where we started, they got us doors open, but they really said, hey, I heard what you're doing. I'd really like to speak to you. And ultimately, they don't have, as I said, advanced engineering teams. They don't have software developers. So we're really providing them with a service as much as an actual physical good. Yes?
How does the helmet cam attach? Because I do snowboarding, cycling, and I have motorcycling. All 3 helmets are different textures, different ridges and shapes. How does that attach to a current helmet?
So that was one of the major challenges. Helmets come in all different shapes and sizes. We've come up with a really unique mounting control or mounting system, I should say. It leverages the standard GoPro mount, but we have our own mounting system that kind of is involved. And what it enables it to do is accommodate different contours and different radii for different helmet types. So you, in effect, would have the similar type of base mount on all of the helmets, and then you'd be able to take our device. It's slim. It's got a nice aerodynamic form factor, so it's not projected off the side of your helmet like a GoPro would be. Yes?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. Being a motor enthusiast myself, it's a great product. Where are you guys currently selling?
So we're going to be taking pre-sales starting in this fall. I'd say late to mid-November, and we're going to be ramping up production in April and delivering by end of next summer.
Keep on keeping on.
Thank you. Yes?
Does it also monitor your health, heart rate, things like that?
So version 1 is compatible with a lot of custom, or I should say popular wearables. So if you've got a device that's already measuring your heart rate, for instance, in the event of an accident, in addition to just delivering an interactive map to your loved ones and police so they know exactly where you're at with a high degree of accuracy, they can also track your biometrics in real time. Yes?
Does it have any preventive, safety features to help you avoid an accident?
So our eyes-up display is actually what I shown. Go back real quick. The eyes-up display is a fully transparent, full-color binocular display system. We have a camera on the rear of this helmet in particular that takes a 180-degree rear view, crops it, digitally alters it a little bit, but it provides it for you, the rider, about 7.5 degrees above your standard line of sight. So you don't have to take your eyes off the road. It's as easy as looking at a rearview mirror in your car, if not a little easier. Yes? So for the OEM partners, for the fully integrated helmets, pricing actually is in their hands. But for the universal stuff, like the Mohawk, the brain of the system, that would be comparable to a high-end GoPro. So we're targeting $500 to $600. The handlebar control and wrist strap would come in about $50 to $60. So right now we're building out our distribution side. The OEMs have really global distribution network through motorcycle dealerships, skiing and snowboarding, equipment stores. So when you're up in Vermont and you're pulling into Killington Mountain, you go to the ski shop, you pop in, and you'd see our stuff right there. But also online through Amazon, hopefully if things work out, and then potentially also on our website as well as some other e-commerce partners. Yes. Last question.
How is the eyes up display different from a competitor called Scully?
So Scully's display, in a lot of their videos, what they'll do is they'll play it, and it almost feels like it's in your line of sight. However, it's a little monocular cube, so you can only see it with one eye in the best of conditions, but you also have to take your eyes off the road. We actually do a demo when we have our helmet, and we let people just do side by side to understand when you're looking down here, you're not looking forward. When you're looking here, I can still see you. So it's a really vastly different experience, which is why we've made the distinguish. We call it the eyes up display, just to clear up. It's not a HUD. It's an eyes up. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. All right. Big round of applause. Let's welcome up Alex with Cosmic. All right. While he gets set up, there was one thing I wanted to mention. The mayor said some very kind words, which I appreciate. And I want to mention that she's been very supportive of the tech community. She's gotten behind a lot of our initiatives. We've tried doing a few really interesting things that she is still supportive of. So I just want to, yeah, she is. I want to thank her for your support because it's been very helpful and it means a lot to the community. So quick round of applause for her. And with that, we'll start with Cosmic.
Hi, my name is Alex Edelman, and I am creating the future of commerce with Cosmic. So we're not the only ones that think that we're creating the future. There it is. Thank you. Mary Meeker of Kleiner Perkins at the beginning of this year said that mobile usage is evolving rapidly. First it was text, then images, then video, all of the above. Buy buttons are likely to appear just as seamlessly. So we've been solving this problem for about 3 years now, and now people are starting to recognize that the future of commerce is providing everyone with the ability to buy from anywhere. So that means buying from Twitter, buying from Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. Wherever you are, you should be able to buy the products you want when you want them. We're the pipes that power that. So a lot of people are calling this buy buttons. Buy buttons is one feature. Really, the larger term is native commerce. And native commerce simply means buying something right where you are instead of having to leave and hop from app to app to app or site to site to site. To give you kind of some insights about how people shop, people are actively shopping about 5% of the time while they're on the web. So this is, we look at it as Amazon, maybe Jet will kind of encroach on that space. But right now, it's people are only spending 5% of their time actively shopping. Now that said, people are enjoying apps, websites all the time, about 55% of the time on multimedia sites while they're on their favorite, or on reading content, sharing that content on their favorite social networks. These are all moments when they're interacting with products, but they can't currently buy the products that they want when they want. So this is the current process that you probably go through up at the top. You see something you want, you tap the link to buy it, and then you go to the next site, to the next site, to the next site, and you either, the experience either breaks or you just have fatigue and you don't buy it. We want to solve that and provide you with the ability to buy it. So at the bottom here, we make it easy, we make it seamless, and we take out all the friction in the commerce experience. As soon as you see something, you can buy it right there. To kind of give you an idea of who our actual customer is, we really function as the pipes of commerce. So you never really see us, and that's the beauty of it. On the supply side of our two-sided market, we have retailers. So if you're someone who wants to, you have a small Shopify store, you can sell something like that. Or if all the way up to an IBM WebSphere or a massive commerce player like a Target or a Walmart can sell on our platform. So we're agnostic. On the other side is media. We call this as a kind of a wide category. It's any sort of publisher. So anyone that's talking about products, whether that be a website, an app, or a digital ad, or even video we can sell in. We were actually just approached by a VR company that wants to create the first virtual shopping environment using our pipe. So we're pretty excited about that. Just some of the places that you can sell products currently are digital media publications, so something more like traditional media. On a blogger site, a lot of fashion bloggers have joined the platform. Mobile apps, we're announcing a few major platforms, ones that you use every single day that you'll be able to use Cosmic's technology to buy for the holidays. Some weekly ads. Retailers can create their own microsites on Tumblr or Rebel Mouse. We do native ads, HTML5 video. Actually, Gary was inspired me about 3 years ago to build out for Vine. He was very bullish on Vine, and they since, I guess, got acquired. But we actually built out a solution that you can buy from a little Vine, 6-second Vine. We look at it as the way that all these sites are actually going to monetize in the future. The way that we do it, we've created a universal API that provides the maximum amount of flexibility. We've also made it really simple for publishers to integrate using our SDK for either HTML5 or mobile for native iOS. Just here's the cool logo page. It says like who we're working with, gives us some sort of credibility and kind of a crazy space. So we've worked with the biggest and the best as well as the smallest. So it's We are Cosmic. My name's Alex, and I'm building the future of commerce. We're looking for any retailers, any publishers, and we're also raising our second round of funding right now. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out, alex@cosmiccard.com, or just come up to me afterwards. Thank you.
So what would the cost be for a startup to work with you, like versus PayPal Pro or Amazon Payments or something like that? Would you be like a solution instead of those guys for this type of thing? If you want to do checkout process, accept credit cards on the website, or is it something different?
It's pretty different. So their payments are becoming a commodity. There's Stripe, there's Braintree, there's PayPal, and they're all competing with each other. We are not competitive with those, and we can actually work with a lot of them. We're agnostic when it comes to payments. But if you were to use Amazon Payments, someone could buy from your site. And so to get someone to your site, you're spending tons of dollars in marketing dollars to get someone there. Our whole experience is about wherever your customer is enjoying your product already, we make that payment, we accept that payment there. Yes? I can't announce anything publicly yet, but we're in deep conversations. So Pinterest is interesting. They've worked with Shopify, and so if you are a Shopify store, you can sell directly. I would say Shopify, if you're just starting out, is one of the best platforms out there for commerce. It doesn't necessarily scale yet to a lot of the major retailers. So a lot of our customers are major retailers that are not on Shopify that can't just connect directly with Pinterest. But deep conversations with Pinterest as well. We like them a lot. Just reach out to me and we'll set you up. All right, great. New customer, sweet. That was easy. Great. Any other questions?
You guys work with Tumblr?
Yeah, we love Tumblr. Tumblr is actually really interesting because similar to Rebel Mouse, you can edit the source. So you can drop in 25 minutes, you drop in our technology, and you can enable it with native commerce. So instead of if you're building a Tumblr site, instead of sending somebody away from your Tumblr site, you can keep them engaged, and they can purchase directly from Tumblr. So yeah, we like Tumblr a lot.
What's your pricing model like? Is it subscription or?
So we only make money when you make money. We take a percentage of every sale, and it ends up being about 2.5%, depending on the retailer.
Is it specific to any kind of product, like versus, let's say, if a local restaurant says I want to have online ordering for my own stuff, will you be able to set that up? Because all this stuff is set items.
Yeah, so it typically works best when there's an e-commerce platform in place to begin with. Where we see the products that we see doing the best are female-focused products. Kind of fun fact, if you like fun facts, women spend about 25 minutes per product before they buy. Men spend 2 hours. So most of the most of the products that do best are apparel, accessories, primarily for women. Food's interesting. It's low margin. It's kind of difficult to do. I think grocery is going to be big for like the impulse buy. A lot of what we've created is around if a publisher has a great experience, we just want to power that last leg of the experience. So if someone creates the best grocery app of all time, we could power that with, say, like a Target grocery or a Walmart grocery, or even work with like Instacart and connect the two.
Can it work with like a third-party affiliate marketing where if they were on your page and you had your affiliate marketing area where they wouldn't have to even leave your page, they can buy right there, you get the credit for the affiliate marketing, so does it work that way?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people in the space are calling us affiliates 2.0. We work with a lot of the current affiliate networks, CJ, Rakuten. We like them a lot. We can work also outside of them. So it's really up to the retailer or the publisher which you want to do. If you currently work with one of the networks, we plug right in. And if you want a direct connection between the retailer and the publisher, we can do that too. We're just the technology solution between the two that connects the dots. But yeah, it's very similar to a modern affiliate program.
And that was our last question. How about a big round of applause?
Thank you, guys.
And our last startup for the night is a guy with a great first name. This is Aaron from Gravy.
Hey everybody, my name is Aaron, like Aaron said. Thanks for having me. I'm one of the co-founders of Gravy. We're building a better way to gift, specifically a better way for businesses, large and small, to send thoughtful gifts to clients and employees. Let's start with a fun fact. I got my start in tech in 2007 when a friend filmed me rapping about math. I ended up on YouTube, went viral, was featured on CNN, a bunch of other things. Long story short, that led me into tech, and here we are. Kind of weird. Okay. So, business gifts for clients and employees. Really big market. $16 billion are spent on business gifts every year, so that's a huge number. That translates to about 200 to 300 million individual gifts, and all that gifting is taking tens of millions of hours because there's no great way to do it specifically in a business setting. The result is a super fragmented market where there are a ton of options, from gifts and gift cards to food and wine. Those options are spread out between hundreds of vendors. When you go to a traditional retailer to send a gift, questions are left unanswered. Questions like, did the gift even arrive? Was it wrapped beautifully? Was the person happy with it? Did they try to send a thank you note? Did that fail? And so on. So we built Gravy to address this problem, again, specifically in a business setting. It starts with a web and mobile app that enables simple and thoughtful giving and receiving of gifts. And the framework that we've built that app on is customizable on a business-by-business basis so that your business can show different gifts and categories than somebody else's business, and so on. Our catalog is the foundation of it all. We source products first and foremost from artisan and boutique brands. The reason we do that is because the stories behind these brands and their teams are really interesting. It also differentiates our catalog from the Amazons and Gifts.coms of the world. We've got a couple name brand partners like Godiva and Jonathan Adler, which we're really excited about, but we're always going to be kind of boutique first and artisan first as a way to differentiate ourselves. We're hoping to be one of the first places you can come to find gifts from boutiques and startups. So if you're a retailer and you're going to be doing physical and digital gift cards this holiday season, we should definitely talk. So how does it work? You come to Gravy, we've got our catalog, we curate it by occasion. So you want to send a housewarming gift or a gift for a baby, those are the only gifts that we put in front of you when you select that category. Streamlines your decision process, and it also ensures that the gift you're sending in this professional setting to a fellow employee, colleague, boss, or client is appropriate, which is huge, especially if you're somebody like me and you aren't too sure of yourself when it comes to gifting. Then we ensure beautiful presentation. Gifts are all too often not beautifully presented. Somebody on my team hand wraps the gifts today, and eventually we'll probably go towards some sort of custom, more scalable packaging. You can send the gift by mail or email. It's common that, especially these days in the age of LinkedIn connections and Facebook friends, you don't know where the person sitting next to you at work lives, but you certainly text with them and know their email address. Send a gift by email, maybe text message at some point. They'll be notified of your generosity. They give us the address where to send the gift and see your personal note. They can send you a thank you note, and as the giver, you are notified every step of the way as to where the transaction stands. So you know when they received your gift, you know where your money's going. So what I just described is kind of a gifting platform for retail, right? It's like just for individual consumers. So what's the business angle? Well, like I mentioned before, the angle is a customizable platform that each business can kind of tweak to make the Gravy environment unique to their users. So if Gary's business came to us and said, we want to do a bunch of different client gifts this Christmas, or gifts for our employees for work anniversaries, promotions, whatever, but we don't want wine in there because maybe you guys don't like wine and spirits, or you never know. You never know. Your industry is a little different. You'd be surprised. So basically, we can curate the catalog specific to different companies' individual values. And if Gary wanted to use really punchy names for the gift categories in the catalog, like right hook and left hook or something like that, then we could actually do that and kind of customize the experience in that way. Maybe he wants Vayner all over the communications and wrapping. We can do that as well and present that stuff in the email and text communications and so on. We do robust analytics and reporting so that you know who in your company is gifting, what clients they're sending to, what employees they're sending to, which offices are gifting more, what's the return on investment on that activity. High-touch support and concierge by phone and email for enterprise clients. And also, as a single dedicated vendor, we make life easy for corporate procurement departments. Instead of spend being spread everywhere across a bunch of different vendors, it's in one place. It's more easily trackable, and it's easier on the accounting department. A couple of recent milestones I'm excited to share with everybody. We did onboard our first enterprise customer in the last couple months. They're one of the top 3 banks in the United States, and they're going to be using Gravy to send retirement gifts. They've got a couple 100,000 employees in America, or I guess that's worldwide, but in America they see 3,000 to 5,000 folks retire every year, and today there's no great experience for managers to find a gift and send it to all these people. As a result, the experience is really inconsistent. Some people leave on great terms, some people don't have any notable experience at all. They wanted to, as an HR department, make that more cohesive and kind of representative of company values. They're going to use Gravy to do that. We customized the catalog for them. We're customizing communications. And as we got onboarded for this massive enterprise customer with like crazy technology that we had to configure our app for, we became ready for prime time. And now we can handle basically any company. It doesn't get any bigger than these guys. We're not ready to announce who they are yet, but we're excited to do so soon because that'll send a signal to the market that we can handle companies big and small. On a New Jersey-based note, we have been looking for a way to add wine and spirits to the catalog because it's a super popular gift category, kind of gender neutral, common in workplaces. Apparently Gary likes it, me too. And we've been looking for the right person, right? Because there's a lot of regulatory issues when it comes to wine and spirits. We finally found a distribution partner in New Jersey. We'll be adding wine and spirits gifts to our catalog soon. So Gravy will then have food, wine and spirits, gifts, and gift cards all in one place, customizable for your company. If you are a startup, looking for a way to send gifts to your employees and your clients, or a big company, or you know somebody at a big company, would love to talk more. If you're a retailer with a really interesting product, we want to carry artisanal brands, startups, that kind of thing, spotlight their stories, come get me. I'm Aaron, we're Gravy. Thanks for listening. That's it.
I have a question or suggestion.
Please.
The biggest problem I found last year, I sent gifts to my customers, is that I often have the billing address of the client. Let's say it's big company X, but I'm dealing with 4 or 5 people in there. I may have just an email address. What do you think about having, or do you have already a way that I can email 100 people, 50 people, 30, and customize for you? Could you give me the best address for you? Even further, the best address for you in this time period. People I'm working with fly a lot. So do you have that feature, and/or what do you think about having that feature? Another company you could work with for wine and spirits is Wine Library, small little company you want to check out as well.
Thank you. So there's a lot in there. As it relates to contact management, I think that's a really important thing that we are going to eventually try to get our collective heads around as a team. We had to start with our e-commerce framework. Today, we enable you to send gifts through the web app, not the mobile app yet, but the web app to multiple different people. So if you have 10 email addresses, you can actually queue up all 10 of them, personalize a note to each person, customize the gift, and send it in one transaction, which is great. But in terms of actually validating the contact information, there's no integration yet. Interesting idea. We're thinking about lots of integrations. We think integrating into CRMs and ERPs, HR management systems, to enable gifting inside those applications is more important, but eventually contact management will be big. The thing is, if you're selling to companies and not individuals, and we're going after big companies, they've got existing systems. The data quality is pretty good, so the data is really there. It's really just getting our application into their systems.
The small businesses, we may have 10 people to send to, and I don't have their addresses, so continue on, but I just meant that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a really important point. I think our model is probably going to skew toward bigger businesses, but if we want to go down market eventually, I think, and for consumers too, that'd be really useful. Sir?
How do you prevent emails from going into the spam filter?
That's a great question. It's something we're grappling with. If you have any expertise, that would be great. To date, we haven't really had a whole lot of trouble with it. We have some emails go into Google's promotions tab, but because we're working with big companies, again, with complex tech departments, for the most part, they're able to get us whitelisted. And for that bank I talked about, we had to go through weeks of making sure we didn't get caught in the spam filter. But it's definitely something on our minds. Sir?
Do you do anything for compliance for financial services companies to make sure they don't spend too much on gifts, things like that?
Yeah, that's a really great question. We're in the process of building our second generation of business features. Things like budgets and ensuring that the gifts in the catalog are compliant with industry regulations, whether it's medical services, gifts for doctors, Sunshine Act, and all that stuff, or financial services. That's what we're trying to think about with the next round of features, because it's a huge issue, especially for big companies that are entrenched. They have these regulations to worry about. I love that question. That's where we're going. Right now, if I send you a gift card and don't deliver it to your mailing address and you receive it by email, you can swap it for a gift card of a different brand for the same value. Eventually, I think we may go the direction where you can swap the gift too, but the complication from our end is we need to merchandise our catalog in such a way that if I spend $30 on a gift and you don't like it, you can only swap for a $30-ish gift. We got to get the blended margins right. That's a challenge that as we get our supply chain online, I think we'll be able to go after. Love the question. That's what everybody wants to know. We take inventory on 80% of the products, and everybody's gonna be like, "You're insane." But if you want to provide a truly service-oriented and premium experience to businesses, you have to control everything, and you can't trust drop shippers to get the packaging right, especially when you're doing custom. I can't be shipping supplies to 50 different drop shippers. We drop ship food from a bunch of artisanal food makers. They're all based in New York City for the most part. We're gonna expand that, and they kind of have some branding involved in that packaging. But for the gifts themselves, we take inventory, and that's a really important part of our model. One more? Ma'am.
Can you give us a little rap about It's All Ready?
That's a good question. I can give you a little math rap. So the chorus of it was What You Know About Math. You can find it on YouTube. There's also wykamath.com, which is talk about failed startups. Really bad math tutoring site that still exists. It's really gross. But the chorus of What You Know About Math, which at one point had more views on YouTube in its early days than T.I.'s own song, What You Know, that it was based on. It's What You Know About Math. It's by T.I. 84, the calculator. That's my rap name. Featuring E, who's my buddy Ethan. If you're a math guy, you know what E is. All right. Don't you know I represent Math League when I add, shorty, subtract, freshman backpack where I'm holding all my work at. What you know about math. What you know about math. And on it goes. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Aaron.